What if I told you that most people spend more time choosing what to eat for dinner than designing the life they actually want to live? What if you realized that chasing stability might be the very thing holding you back from greatness? Today, we're diving into some of the most powerful and unexpected lessons from Denzel Washington that can help you build a life worth living. And trust me, some of these lessons are not the motivational cliches you've already heard 1,000 times. Denzel often says, "Without commitment, you'll never start, and without consistency, you'll never finish." Sounds simple, right? But think about how often we confuse excitement for commitment. That rush of starting a new project feels like progress, but research from Stanford University shows that dopamine spikes at the beginning of tasks, tricking us into thinking we're accomplishing something. The real test is whether you keep moving when the excitement dies and all that's left is the boring, repetitive grind. Another lesson is his insistence on failing forward. Most people are terrified of failure, but Denzel flips that idea upside down. He treats failure as the tuition fee you pay for success. If you never fail, you're probably playing way too small. Let me ask you, what's one thing you've avoided doing because you were afraid of looking ridiculous? Drop it in the comments. I want to know who's brave enough to admit it. One of his more overlooked teachings is about gratitude before achievement. He has said that he puts God first and thanks Him daily, even before success comes. This is fascinating because psychology journals repeatedly show that gratitude literally rewires your brain to notice more opportunities instead of more problems. Most people wait until they're successful to be grateful. That's like waiting to get fit before you start going to the gym. Denzel also warns about chasing validation instead of value. In his words, "You'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse." It's a dark but hilarious reminder that none of the external approval or material goods come with you in the end. So why are we wasting our lives scrolling to see if someone liked our photo instead of building something real? If that hit a little too close to home, maybe it was supposed to. Another layer of his wisdom comes from his discipline in preparation. He's one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood, yet he still rehearses relentlessly and takes acting classes. Imagine already being at the top and still acting like a beginner. It's a brutal contrast to how most of us behave. We want the reward now and the work later. The truth is, consistent preparation is what allows you to shine when opportunity shows up. He also talks about using imagination as a weapon, not as an escape. Many people waste imagination worrying about worst-case scenarios that never happen.
Denzel flips it, using imagination to build visions of where you could be, and then reverse engineering how to get there. Psychologists call this mental contrasting, and it's scientifically proven to increase goal achievement. So maybe instead of imagining yourself losing everything, you should start imagining yourself winning and then plan backwards. Another point is his reflection on humility. He constantly reminds people that talent will get you noticed, but character will keep you there. This isn't just poetic, it's a survival strategy. History is filled with talented people who collapsed because their ego made them unteachable. Ever met someone who thinks they're the smartest person in the room? Annoying, right? Now imagine being that person. Your downfall is already booked. One of the most counterintuitive lessons from Denzel is about risk. He once said, "Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship." That's brutal honesty. It's actually comfort, not pain, that quietly destroys ambition. So if your life feels fine, maybe that's the scariest place to be. You're not desperate enough to fight for more, and you're too comfortable to move. And then there's his philosophy on giving back. He doesn't just talk about success, he talks about significance. He mentors, he funds scholarships, he builds opportunities for others. It's proof that your legacy isn't about how high you climb, but how many you bring with you. The University of Notre Dame published a study showing that people who practice generosity experience higher life satisfaction and lower depression rates. So maybe the selfish strategy is actually to be generous. If you've made it this far, you're already showing more consistency than most people. So let me remind you, hit that like button and subscribe if you want more lessons like this.
I promise you, the next videos will keep surprising you. At the end of the day, Denzel Washington's lessons aren't just motivational quotes to slap on a coffee mug. They're warnings, challenges, and reality checks. They tell you that failure is your teacher, comfort is your enemy, gratitude is your foundation, and giving back is your insurance policy for meaning. So the next time you think about building a better life, don't just think about achieving more. Think about becoming more. Now here's my final question for you. What's one comfort in your life you know you need to sacrifice if you really want to grow? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll be reading them. And if you're ready to stop just consuming motivation and start living it, stick around. Because this channel is all about turning lessons into action. So subscribe, stay tuned, and remember, ease is the real enemy.